Hi,
Welcome back.
everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to episode 3 of Baka. We'll do it live.
Yeah. Yeah, this is episode 3.
Yes. We've come a
There
long
was...
way, baby. No.
I had to think about that and I was like, yes. Because normally, so the day that we're recording this isn't the day that we normally record because of events. This was recorded on a different day, so that's why I'm like, yes.
This episode was recorded in the past, but a not too distant past, so much closer past. Anyway, as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Steph.
And welcome to our wild and turbulent life. I mean, what? No.
I mean, if we're going to start off that way, we both have sour candies. We might as well just knock that out of the way.
There you go. If for those who are just listening to us, these are Ribbon Lemon, and Steph's got the plum Chosenjo candy. We buy them from Minano, which is a local Japanese grocer here in Texas. And yeah, do you want to tell them a story about the?
No. You could say it.
No. Come on. You went downstairs to get the candy, and I figured that would be a great lead up to the story.
So, while I was hanging out with Chris decided to separate because this is a sour candy. It's covered in like a sweet gummy-ish coating. Not gummy, but taffy. Yeah, that's the word. To separate the citric acid from the taffy. And us being the geniuses that we are, we decided to eat the citric acid by itself and then do the taffy. I threw up on Chris's couch, which is now deemed like my seat.
That is Steph's seat now.
Yeah.
Once you've christened any of my furniture, that now becomes your domain anytime you come over. So.
So, in true fashion, and then we had your roommate Charles try with us, and Charles is like, he kicks a little. While I'm over here like, what? I threw up. He's
Both
like,
of us are crying.
Yeah. And that's when we realized we are the bottoms of the group.
This is why we work so well,
I want to eat mine already.
Go for it. I've just been eating mine right now, trying to cover my face from the camera, but not doing too good of a job, so.
I was like, everyone's going to see my reaction. I'm going to be sucking on mine, so you're going to hear a lot of, sucking ASMR on my end.
Bonus sucking ASMR. You only get that here.
This isn't the sour face. This is me making a face at you.
I know. It's fine.
So, Chris.
Yes.
What have you been up to since the last time we've met up?
Oh, yes. So, a couple things. Repeats from last time. I'm still playing Eyes on Android. I have to make a confession. I'm a very, 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 very dense sometimes. When the game starts, it's got a picture like of an anime-esque woman. There's a couple of them. They're different characters of the story. And I'm like, this is funny because the story is really light. I don't understand what these characters are, but okay. When you turn on the game, I always swiped right. And when you swipe right, it gives you all of these nonogram puzzles, which, I mean, that's what Eyes is. And they're all different random objects. And I'm like, this is cool. I can do this. I can do that, These are all really good. But, yeah, I didn't understand the story elements. Because there's a little bit of story here and there, but it wasn't anything, put together. Well, the other day I logged in and I accidentally swiped left instead of right. And wouldn't you know it? That's where the story mode actually is.
How long have you been playing this game?
I'm about 388 bonus levels in. Needless to say, I cleared the first 3 chapters of the story mode very, very quickly. Oh. Should we go back to the camera for Steph's face, or you know what?
That's up to
We
you.
will. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Mm,
This is
that's fun.
this is the content people signed up for, and they're not even paying for it either. Shh. Open source content. We don't need any of that OnlyFans nonsense over here.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
OF
because you were
only
talking.
faces.
You were talking to me about eyes. How's it like similar to Murder by Numbers?
Right.
And so I've been playing Murder by Numbers because you finished it.
Woot woot.
I'm now in case 4.
Nice.
I am D rank now. So the way they rank you is if you don't use any hints, and how difficult the puzzle is, it gives you points. Well, me being the perfectionist that I am, I've played case 3 twice because I was like, I need to get that 100. I need to get that S rank. No, I didn't get the S rank, and I was like, you know what? I know I didn't use a hint, so it's got to be something like option wise. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. But the puzzles have definitely gotten harder.
Right.
That I've stared at my Switch and be like, the fuck is this? Give me a hint. Give me something to start off with. I'm lost. I'm gonna go for another sour.
Go for it. Go for it.
This is just gonna be a sour kind of day. Because, fun fact, we both had the plum and the lemon. The lemon was more sweeter than the plum, and so it wasn't as sour.
This is true. This is true. The plum just like a cruel mistress, you enjoy the company thereof. where these lemons, these lemons are nice. They're a little diversion, but you know.
There's a joke in there of how we enjoy the lemons.
I mean, with all the talk of the puzzle games, I'm sure the audience will figure it out now.
So besides playing Eyes, what else have you been up to?
I read the cutest manga. Like, I haven't read a cuter one in a long time. That did not come out the way. I will use my words. Yes. Let's start that over again. I read the first volume of The Life of a Yuri Couple in Love.
Okay.
It's super cute. First and foremost, hat tip. There's a blog / author I love to read called Yuri Mother. Yeah, it's yurimother.com, and they bring like the best of Yuri and LGBTQ plus women manga and anime.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I suggest y'all go check them out. Anyway, that's where I found it because it just came out digitally in English. We had to go on. I had to get it on online on Booth to download the translated version
Oh, okay.
because it's not even print yet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do any spoilers, but little over arc. You have two childhood friends, two gals, one named Mai and one named Emmy. They're about
Mm-hmm.
30 years old ish, give or take, and it's just like the sweetest slice of life. I mean, because they're older, and I'll use the term older in regards to manga, because almost every manga, you know, it's high school students. It's always high school students. It's
Mm-hmm.
always high school students. And I was like, no. There's more to life than that. Some of us have families and have to pay bills, and that covers this. It's like the light minutia of real life, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That definitely makes sense. I think that's why Watakoi is probably one of my favorite adult ones where it takes the romance as adults.
Hmm. And it's super lovey-dovey. Um,
Aww.
um, I'm sure those who know me, and you can ask Steph too, like the way my partner Melissa and I act out in public. Yeah, that like this manga encapsulates that feeling.
Aww.
I know somebody's gonna
Yeah.
be down in the comments and be like, "Bleh." I'm like, well, you know what? That's fine. You go throw up in your chair over there, and that chair is gonna become yours.
Yeah, they are very sweet. It's very adorable seeing them, and it's just one of those like, oh, I'm getting diabetes.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
We already did in Wilford Brimley. We're coming for you. No, sorry, that's not. What else have you been doing?
um, I've just been grinding more on Final Fantasy. Both my magical girls are level 33. Um, so trying to think. Oh, and then I'm reading Overlord. I'm on volume 5 of the actual novel, as well as still playing Obey Me because now they're having the Lonely Demon, so you could replay events, and I'm like, hee.
Shoot, I should have kept that he as like a sound bite. We could have used that in a later episode.
I was gonna be like, jokes on you, Fall Bite. Wait, no, you're gonna go through this. You're probably gonna find that or take that sound bit and be like, save that for later.
That was at the 11-minute 18-second mark. I already wrote it down. We'll have that on the website once I get the website working again as a downloadable ringtone.
Oh no! Oh no! Please don't.
We're just gonna put this over here in the blackmail stuff folder for later.
I mean, there's plenty of things that you can do. Um, so that's kind of a low hanging fruit. Like, depending on who you want to bribe, they'll be like, "Oh, you want some blackmail? All right, here you go." My brother can be bribed with food.
There you go. Casually looks up, brother. I don't know.
I think I tagged him in a post on Twitter. And I was like, because it was Obey Me, and they're like, "Oh, do you have brothers?" And I was like, "I do. I miss talking to them." And I tagged my brother, and I was like, "I miss talking to y'all."
Aww.
Mhm.
See, she's just as sweet, if not sweeter.
Oh.
She's the lemon candy, and I'm the plum candy. What? No.
What?
So I also got. I'm a huge fan of Nier Automata. The
Okay.
game. I love the game. If you haven't played the game, go out and play it. You can get it like for PC now for like $30. I originally played it the day it came out in the PS4. Um, the story is excellent. It's an awesome RPG. I also have a thing for guys and gals in gothic Lolita clothing that are short and you can see their butts, but that's just an added bonus.
Mhm.
I got what's called the World Guide.
Zawaldo. Sorry, I've been
Yeah.
watching.
Wait, was
Um,
that a JoJo's reference?
it is because I'm still on part 4 because I watch it together with my husband. So it's just I'm like I want to watch more JoJo's.
It's interesting. It's a beautiful coffee table book. I'm not normally a coffee table book kind of person, but it's
Mhm.
a combination art book, combination like here's the game, but as a children's story esque, like narration.
Okay.
But in that, it's also a strategy guide.
So it can help you with all the different endings.
Right. Except
Oh.
for the last ending. I love somebody did a review of this on Amazon, and I laughed my butt off because I saw the beauty in it. They obviously didn't. The very like 2 or 3 pages, which would show you how to do the last good ending.
Mhm.
It's static and a bunch of like computer UI. It's like this file has been corrupted.
No. That's bull.
I was like, the strategy guide doesn't even give you spoilers. I love it.
Actually, that's very
Right.
respectable.
And it was published. It is published by Dark Horse, so you know it's going to be good.
Mhm.
It's kind of interesting too because technically, like I've seen it in Japan sold as World Guide Volume One, but here
So what you mean?
well here it's only just World Guide, and it's the same amount of pages, but on Amazon.jp there's a World Guide Volume Two. So I'm like, maybe question mark what? Unless it's just updated for the DLC, but I don't know. Nor do I have the
Okay.
money to import it. So if any of y'all, Mr. or Mrs. or anybody else, Moneybags, wants to buy it and tell us down in the comments, please let us know.
Daddy Warbucks, Mommy Warbucks, please.
Yes. Send your checks to Cash, CASH. Anyway,
Please don't make your checks out to cash. Anyone can negotiate them.
that's right. Shh, don't give it away. Gonna ruin our funding here. We don't get funded by anybody. If you want to give us some money in our coffee links, they're on the website too, but we're not gonna tell you to do so. You know, only if you feel that like you poor people get a real job. Here's some money. So that brings us to our second part of today's podcast.
Hmm.
Um, Everyday carry. What you might be, why would you cover that in a podcast that's mostly about fandoms and whatnot? Well, when you live and die in the fandom, you carry stuff every day. So I'm going to throw up, for those that are viewing us, here's a picture of all of our EDCs, and I'll have Steph go first, describing everything on hers and why she carries it.
Oh my gosh. So my everyday carry, because I actually have to look up the image. Actually, no, it's on my phone. I took pictures because you criticized me on the first picture,
Oof.
the second picture, because it wasn't a good enough picture. So I've been in situations, I should say, where I've had to make sure I have certain things. So looking at my everyday carry, um, is going to be my Lancome makeup bag, which doesn't carry as much makeup as you would think. It has more like my daily stuff. Headphones, hand sanitizer, Overlord Volume 5, because sometimes I just don't want to browse on my phone. Notebooks, because I've got plenty of things to write down with, writing utensils, and my wallet. Now, if we go into my makeup bag, this is going to be the bag that's going to come with me in every one of my bags. I said bag, so depending on the con that I go to, that makeup bag goes into that bag. Like, that is the first take you out, put you in. I've got hand sanitizer, I've got deodorant, dental stuff, Lactaid, earrings, feminine hygiene, um, a little perfume, and I've got makeup. So Chris actually gave me both the ColourPop's Sailor Moon lips. They're very nice colors. And then I have like a little gloss and I have emergency mascara as well as earrings because you never know when you're going to need to freshen up a little bit. That's my everyday carries. Chris, what about you?
So funny enough, I'm gonna jump around a bit. Um, I too have lactate in my purse because we both suffer from the fun that is lactose intolerance. That doesn't mean we don't eat dairy products. That just means we suffer when we do.
I've said this once and I've said this plenty of times. It's not, you never want me to eat ice cream because it's like, oh, Steph, you're gonna hate yourself. No, no, no. You're going to hate me because there I am going to be a little fart machine and then I'm gonna blow up a toilet. And chances are there's only gonna be one toilet. So
Oh no, I get you. Same boat, same boat.
yeah, so I it's like, but you're lactose intolerant. Yes. I still want ice cream, but this makes it easier for everyone.
Just takes the edge off.
Mm-hmm.
Other things in my EDC, again, like you, notebook, writing utensils, a lot of writing utensils because everybody seems to be stealing mine all the time forever. Um, I saw that hand being raised. Uh, because I want all of the baby sea turtles to always live forever, I've got a reusable metal collapsible straw in rainbow, obviously. Um,
Obviously.
Face mask always in there in rainbow, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Assorted crystal light mixing drinks and my green sugar substitute. Keep the sugar away.
Because I noticed that when we've gone out, you have your little sugar packets at the ready. I think you've stopped asking if they have this.
Yeah, again, I know what I'm about, so if they have unsweet tea, I'm gonna get unsweet tea. If they don't have anything I want, I'll just make some crystal light. What else I got here? Of course, keys, wallet, makeup. I got a while back the ColourPop lip crayons, which I really like. It just gives you that much color. It's not like oh my gosh, but some a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good. Like half the people aren't going to see it anyway because you're going to be wearing masks. Thank you, COVID. But it makes me feel good, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Lip gloss. I've got my pill container with my pills. Speaking of pills, because I'm on hormones, I always have my red pepper flakes because that's something I just need to have on everything now forever. If Steph gets too close, the red pepper flakes go on her head. I mean, I don't know. Everything has
What?
to. What?
Why would you do this to me?
Because you're spicy, but you could be that much more spicy. And then I have my little technology Gridit holder, and in that's got all my stuff. My Gridit comes with me everywhere. I used to just take it to conventions, but now it's got this funny little box. I've got Sailor Moon stickers on it, which is a combination USB battery.
Okay.
It's a SD card reader. It's a wireless hotspot,
Mm.
and it's a wireless bridge. So if you go to a convention hotel and they only have Ethernet, I can plug the Ethernet cable into it and then broadcast it to everybody.
That's
Or
really smart.
if you want to do a viewing room, I can plug in a USB stick or an SD card with media on it and make our own little media server in this little tiny box. It's like the best 40 bucks I ever spent.
Drop the Amazon link.
Yes, yes. We can do that. We can do that. Assorted cables for said box, because I usually my phone's USB-C, but somebody's always going to want it, can I charge my iPhone? Do you have your iPhone cable? No, but I got one just because. Various USB drives, a knife because, knife.
Knife.
Yeah. And separate from all my writing utensils, because I don't want it freaking stolen, a black Sharpie to get all those important autographs when you do go to conventions and you go and you wait in line for 8 hours and then, oh, look, you don't have anything to sign with. The hell
I was
I don't.
so a friend of mine that I went to BlizzCon, she bought brand new Sharpie markers and she was like, each voice actor is gonna have a certain color. She was mad that one of the voice actors took her Sharpie and didn't give it back. She was like, I want that Sharpie. Like, ooh.
Wow. What the hey? As somebody who used to head a convention, they get paid well enough that they can buy their own damn Sharpies.
No, and they did. They had their own Sharpie. I think originally it was going to be like a purple Sharpie that this voice actress was going to sign in, but my friend was like, "Oh, let me hand you the purple metallic one." And then I guess, confusion or something, because it was one of those like, keep moving, because we camped out the autograph line for at least 2 hours.
Who'd you get autographed then?
Uh, Widowmaker. Oh, I have it somewhere because I had the actual poster, but I gave it to my work husband so he can give it to the girl that he was talking to. It was Widowmaker, Reinhardt, Anna, Farah, Doomfist, and Lucio.
Nice.
So that's why if you ever come to my house, I have a Reinhardt, and there's a fun story about that Reinhardt because um, BlizzCon has this like a swap meet area that you can swap things out. So this dude, I think it was day zero because we were getting our badges. It was either day zero or was it day one. I gave him the Mercy that came with the backpack, with my BlizzCon backpack. He is like, okay, well, what do you want? And I was like, I want that Reinhardt. So I got the Reinhardt pop, which then I ended up getting signed by Devin DePaul, which is Reinhardt's English voice actor. And I was like, yeah, that is my piece de resistance. I will probably fight someone if that thing is missing out of my house.
That's going into the grave with you when you go.
Probably.
That's my object like that, and I'm not going to name which one it is because then people are going to run out and be like, "What the hell? I gotta find it." I have
Mhm.
a I have a laser disc of a very early hentai that's signed by the main character of this very early hentai. That was one of the first voice roles of Jessica Cavello.
Wow. Okay, hold on a minute. I was like, no, my keyboard rats me out if I'm
you can you
typing.
can you can do that homework later. I one year we had Jessica Cavello as a guest at a convention that I was working, and
Mhm.
I printed out a picture of said Laserdisc with her signature on it because I wanted to show her, but I was smart enough not to bring said Laserdisc with me because as soon
Yeah.
as she saw the photo, she grabbed it from my hands and ripped it up into teeny tiny pieces and threw it up in the air like confetti, as Jessica's want to do.
What?
She's like, "We're never going to speak of that again," and I was like, "You're never going to speak of that again." But that's okay. We love Jessica. Jessica's awesome.
Mhm.
Um, when it comes to convention EDCs, I didn't take any pictures of my convention bags because for a while I went through a bunch of different bags. I think my mom bought me, well, before that, back when myth bags were a thing, I had so many of those. Haha, hentai inside, haha, anime,
Hmm.
crack is cheaper, all that jazz. I just recently found my what was it? Not his, hers, circumstances bag, but I just found a couple of myth bags. Anyway, we might give those away. We don't know yet, unless Steph wants to steal them from me.
I
That's
probably will steal them from you.
that's what I thought was going to happen. Um, then one year, my mom bought me. There was a quote unquote convention bag that Think Geek put out.
Yes.
That Think Geek bag of holding convention edition, which I was
Mhm.
like, okay, this is cute, but this is so tiny. My backpack's bigger than this thing. What kind of convention you going to? A convention for birds?
Yeah. When we get to me when I show my convention bag, so I saw that and I was like, I can't hold all the things I would like to hold in that.
Yeah. And almost every time I go to a convention, the last, I don't know, X number of years when dinosaurs walked around the planet, normally I have to work, or I get wrangled into work, or I tell myself to go work because I have no life, and
Oh.
self burn. Ooh. Um, so yeah, I just bring my smallest rolling suitcase luggage with me. Which, funny enough, a friend of ours. That's how we met. My table was next to y'all's table at time, and they were like, "Boy, I'm hungry," and I was like, "Are you hungry for a sandwich?" And they were like, "Yes." Why? What do you have? And I was like, "I have chicken salad." And they were like, "Do you have chicken salad sandwich?" And I was like, "No." And I pull up my suitcase on the table. I have everything to make fresh chicken salad.
Hey, that's how you make friends, though.
That's right. That's right. I might not have anything to swap goods wise, but people are going to be hungry.
So, around lunchtime or like 2 hours in a swap meet, water and food are going to become a hot market commodity. I kid you not. I cannot tell you how many times I've walked past someone that has water and I'm like, what do you want for that? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm thirsty. What do you want? Or even I've done in my swaps, I make sure to bring water and I bring like snacks. And then I'll be like, okay, I've got snacks. What can I get? They're like, you could see the lies looking, be like, I'm really thirsty. Okay, fuck, you can have like anything from here. Cool, give me like that. Here's your water. It works. That's gonna be my little secret tip. Go to commit if you're going to a swap meet, bring something edible, bring something in a container to swap it out. You will be surprised. People will take it.
In before any of the other people comment, Her. Of course you're thirsty. That's why you're at a convention. And also an aside, as somebody who used to be staff, don't 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 bring food or drinks if the convention doesn't allow you to bring food or drinks.
Well, yes, that's the obvious. If the convention doesn't allow you to bring outside food and drinks, don't bring outside food and drinks.
Yeah.
You always have to adhere to the con rules. But if they have those rules, then
Yeah.
yeah. But that's why I'm thirsty.
I mean, there you go. Let's zoom in on that. There you go.
I was like, I have to cover part of it so that way.
I'll just flag it on YouTube that this one's not child appropriate. I mean, none of them are child appropriate, but
Lord.
all the children watching were lied about their age anyway, because we totally didn't do that when the internet was a thing when we were younger.
No, of course not.
That's how I got locked out of my original Yahoo email account because I couldn't remember what birthday I gave them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that brings us around to our we have to do at least one controversial air quotes there topic, and that is the state of pirate anime and manga and games. We'll just lump the state of pirate media in the fandom, and if it has a place, and what its place, and if it doesn't have its place. Yes.
So, any thoughts or any words that we say, they don't reflect any communities or organizations that we're affiliated with.
Correct.
Full disclaimer on that.
Would you like to start?
I would like to start. So my take on that is that we do need a little piracy, and some people are like, what? You need piracy to this community to
How
help it forward,
dare!
right? So hear me out. Certain things don't get published immediately, and the moment they get published, you need the people who have been reading them kind of within like gray spectrum areas to be like, oh man, hype, and then watch them sell other things, like watch them sell those mangas, those animes. I'm going to use myself as an example. So, Love is War, before it actually became published as a manga, it I was reading it through a website. I'm not going to mention the website because some websites have already been taken down because the internet being the internet. So Love is War was one of those I was reading. The moment it got published, I did buy the manga. And then when the anime was announced, I can assure you I was there like, Love is War, let's watch it. It's going to be a wonderful piece of art that everyone's going to like. And some people fought me on this. They're like, well, it, it doesn't look like it'd be my taste. It looks too romancy. And I'm like, hear me out. So when we were showing it here in San Antonio as a free stream, like showing free anime, Love is War was one of those because I had read the manga. I knew all the spoilers going into the anime. I had bought the actual manga. I think it's actually lent to someone at the moment. That I was like, yes. Even now, season 2, as it's being dubbed, I'm like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time around when I watched it, but I know all the spoilers, so it made it worse for me. I'm like, oh no, this is coming up. But side trade, like, yeah, so the fact that I was able to read it in this gray morally areas, I did my due diligence then, or did my due part, and I bought the manga and made sure to buy it here legally where it was acceptable.
Right.
Right. And there are other series that I'm still reading them on those websites, but as their English adaptations are published here, I'm buying them because I want to support that. They have to be bought in order for a market to exist. So that's a weird, well, how do I know it exists if I'm not going into that gray area?
No, those are I agree almost on all of that.
Yeah.
I get to show my age because I came from a time when you bought you either bought overpriced VHS tapes, cough cough, AD Vision for like $70 per tape that had like 2 episodes on it, and
Mm-hmm.
half of the tape were like coming soon trailers, or you were in groups, underground groups, swapping fan subs.
Oh man, that's a throwback. And someone's like, "Oh, well, how old are ya?" Okay, so for anyone's asking me how old we are, I just entered my 30s. Chris here is in her mid 30s.
Mid 30s.
Yes, so
Yeah.
context.
That's not
Uh,
that's not again that's not super old, but still.
yeah. But no, you mentioned fan subs, and now my brain went back to me living to my parents and watching episodes in parts. And because I can read in Spanish, sometimes the English fan subs weren't out for a next episode or for the next part. So it'd be um, watching the next part. Capítulo español. All right, here we
There you go.
go.
There you go. What's it?
That.
It's funny you should say that because that's actually where some of the very little Spanish that I can read, I can thank Univision for, because I
Mm-hmm.
was in like middle school when they were showing. I want to say it was either 0080 or 0082 Gundam, and then right after that it was Tekka Man or Techno Man, depending on the translation. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, it was all in Spanish with like the Univision's in-house studio, so the voices didn't match at all. But my television had one of those SAP chips in it, so it also would give you the captions.
Oh. Oh
Yeah,
no. I kind of want to see that now.
and my mom would come in and be like, "Are you watching Japanese cartoons in Spanish?" Maybe.
I
Go
can't
go
say
back in your
anything.
room and watch your soap operas.
I can't say anything because my one point, my parents are like, "Oh, those caricaturos, like those cartoons," and I'm like, and then they saw me reading the subtitles in Spanish, and they're like, "All right, we'll let you pass." So
It's all right, I guess.
I guess. But
It
yeah,
could
that
it
that
could be worse. You could be on drugs, so you know.
I'm pretty sure my parents looked at me and my brother and were like, "Why couldn't y'all have been like normal?" I think at this point we would have taken y'all being on drugs instead of being the weebs and that you are.
Well, I'll go with that aside for a little bit. Steph can tell you, when I was younger, before I got into like conventions and selling and whatnot, my mom was like, "Yeah, this is weird. This is totally weird." Yeah, now anytime we're at home together and it's like a family function, my mom is like, "Let's watch my favorite anime," and my mom's favorite anime is freaking Chobits. So there's that.
Underpants.
Thank you, please. They're for Hideki.
God, how early on that was. Like, I knew it existed because on the rewatch, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a thing. I forgot how early. And then it's like, oh, yeah, anime is sometimes not wholesome. It's this is more geared to adults. It's one of those awkward moments you have to talk to yourself and be like, this is a series I was watching middle school, high school.
Clamp
Yeah.
Clamp be like that sometimes.
Clamp is like, hey, we're gonna be wholesome or we're gonna be clamp.
Yeah.
There's almost no in between.
So circling back around, another back in those dark anime days. That's an argument I hear now is, well, you don't need to pirate things because anime is so accessible now. You have Crunchyroll, you have is it High Dive? Is High Dive a thing still?
Yeah, High Dive and Crunchyroll are now together on Verb, and you
Right,
have Funimation and Amazon and Netflix are the big
right.
ones.
And they're like, so yeah, you have all this anime that you can watch free, or you can use this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna give you my arguments against why that isn't an end all be all.
Hmm.
Um, One, I prefer subs.
Okay.
I know that's a religious war, and you can watch anime. That I don't care how you watch anime. You should just watch anime. Done. Period. The end. But I personally prefer subs because sometimes they will dub it and it'll be perfectly fine. Sometimes they Americanize the hell out of it, and I'm like, really? Why did you do this? You didn't need to do this.
Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm looking at you four kids. Here, let me suck on my lollipop that smokes apparently.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Four Kids. The only thing that I will say that came good out of Four Kids was their One Piece rap. I wish we would have had a four. I wish we would have had a rap now of the whole crew.
Right.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm down for that.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing is people don't realize just how much anime and manga is produced. Like the body of work coming out all the time is just it is way back when we used to do like panels on what is anime to parents that don't know what these Japanese cartoons are. Um, it's like anime isn't a genre. It is its own thing, and then it's cataloged into subgenres. Adult, not adult, romance, science fiction, whatever you name it, it's there. Just like cinematography is, just like books are. And back in the day, companies would put out what they thought they could make money on, or like ADV was guilty of doing this. Funimation when they first started, um, a little bit of when Pioneer turned into what was it, Genon?
Yes.
Um, they what they would do is they'd buy up everything. They'd buy rights to this, that, and the other, and maybe, well, we'll put this out or we'll put that out, and oh, here's 3 episodes, but it didn't sell, so we're not going to put out the rest. And I see the same thing with the streaming sites. It's like, yes, you're getting more. You're getting a bigger assortment, but it's still the bottom line is how much of this can we make money on? You're not going to get really niche stuff. There are so many. I love slice of life animes. I love slice of life animes, not just the like wacky. Haha, this is like a good example is I liked Azumanga when it came out,
Oh
and
wow.
not all of them are like that. You know,
Hmm.
most of the slice of life we get are because it's like nobody really wants to see every day. I'm like, yes, yes, I do. That's me. Take my money. So that's why I do like I'm with you. Pirated whatever, especially if it comes out in Japan and it hasn't hit our market yet. When something has hit our market, I'm like, okay, you shouldn't be pirating it.
Yeah. If it exists in a legal mind, bite,
Buy it.
support, like, vote with your wallet.
Yeah,
Um, that way, there's a market. They're telling you, you're essentially telling them, I like this thing. I'm willing to give you money. Please give me more of this stuff.
right.
I'm looking at
Um,
you. It's home.
I'll also throw out the unpopular opinion that I'm okay with piracy when it comes to what's the word? Toxic people. I will throw that out. Say
Okay.
there's certain series you really like, but say some of the maybe the main voice actor has gotten himself into a lot of trouble because he acted inappropriately, and maybe you don't want to give that money towards that person. If that's the case, I say go buy goods. You can always buy goods
Mhm.
That's what we did back when I was just a wee otaku. Um, Dragon's Lair used to rent anime VHSs.
Mhm.
And we would meet a group of friends and I, because we were real otaku, again air quotes there. After we would go to SAC for Japanese class, we would
Mhm.
go pick up a tape or two from Dragon's Lair, go to our friend's apartment, gang hook up all of our VCRs, and make copies of copies, so we would all have the same copy of whatever it was. It was like, oh, it's tape number 4 of 3 by 3 Eyes, or some ridiculous series that like nobody liked, but hey, it was anime. Any anime was good anime at the time.
Yes. Man, y'all were dedicated because I kind of feel you on that. So, kind of touching on to the little bit of what's the market is you're going to see a lot more of the shonen stuff. A lot of the shoujo or things that are geared more to girls, you're not going to see as much, or the things that you do see, you're going to see a little bit later. So this pops up, and I'll be this little angry person because I'm sure Chris has heard my argument. My husband, I swear he's gotten annoyed of my argument of like, oh, female isekai. Of course, you have Bakarina, which is that time I've got reincarnated as a villainess with nothing but destruction flags. I've seen Inuyasha be referred to as a isekai, and I was like, you know what, I'll buy it on that one.
Yeah.
But no one mentions Fushigi Yugi, and
I love the
I
mysterious play. Sorry.
oh, yes, this is why we're friends. But no one really mentions it. And it's like, oh, well, because it wasn't heavily marketed. I think I saw Fashugi Yugi because of friends, because it's like, oh, let's watch this. And I fell in love with it. So that's one of those, like,
Yeah. That's
piracy is some good. Yes.
that's how I got into going back to VHS tapes and illegal copying and FBI warnings and all that jazz. Um, I really got into Clamps X, like X 1999,
Mm-hmm.
because they had a tape of that, and everybody recorded it anyway, because again anime was anime,
Yeah.
and that was it. It got recorded, and most people like left it in their closet or threw it out or whatnot. And I was like, oh, this is good. So when I was able, when they started selling it on DVD, I was like, I want this. I want more of this, please. Take my money, because
I want more, please. I want you to keep producing stuff.
yeah,
Uh, that's very much like the mentality I've had because being such a young weeling and not having access to much stuff, I remember when Borders closed, and that's where the closest bookstore for was for me. So if I wanted mangas, all right, I'm going to buy my manga. I'm going to subscribe to Shoujo Jump
right.
or yeah, no, it's Shonen Jump. It was
Shonen
a
Jump.
Shoujo Beats.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I
And then
was
there
like,
was there was Kiss, because I subscribed to Kiss.
mm-hmm. So I made a mental note to make sure to support this stuff so that way there was more things accessible. And that's something that you kind of have to stress. Of like there's a little piracy that's good. If it's you are able to get it in legal means, go for it. Support the creators. That way they know that you love their content. That way they know, oh, there's actually a fan base out there.
Right.
That we're not telling you don't support the artists that make the fan stuff. No, no, no. We're also telling you to support the original stuff that comes out. So buy the mangas, buy the DVDs, the people who have the licensed merch, buy those kind of things as well.
Yeah. And like with the life of a Yuri couple in love, um, expand your horizons beyond the big publishers,
Mm-hmm.
because MK, who put out I'm just gonna say The Life, because I'm tired of saying the whole title.
That's okay.
It's a small, like, self-published esque online stuff. Artists
Mm-hmm.
can go under a name and then publish their own workout. Support the little person,
Yes,
like
support the.
Steph. What? Who said that? I was gonna get a short joke in here, so.
I was waiting for it. I was like, man, we're going. How long without a short joke? So proud.
Now she's gonna get short with me.
No, but I think we've reached an interesting age in this digital age that piracy is, in a sense, the way that we're helping build our fandoms, build our communities as well. And it's at one point do we have to say, like, is this pirating or is this us just building the community?
Right.
Because if you look at Reddit, there's subreddits for anime and subreddits for manga and even light novels, and they're talking about it. They of course they'll be like, oh, this went on sale, whatnot, but they're still talking about the thing. So I think that's in a sense like help building it up, because I know Spy X Family came out. I'm reading that. I have the volume. Actually, no. Let me change that because So Way of the Houseward Husband. That one came out. I remember seeing it on the subreddit for manga. I bought that when that manga came out. Actually, I bought it twice because volume one someone already has, but I need a complete set. When it came out with that live action of chapter one, because the manga sales were doing so well, man, you can believe I was spamming my poor Twitter with like, this, we gonna see it live time. So that's in the way that I can say it helps, because I didn't know about this, but you could tell who was reading that series beforehand, because I would see cosplayers before the actual manga was published, more like before it was
Right.
available. People were cosplaying, so it's like an inside secret, like, oh, you're that character. But now that the manga's come out, there's more hype for it. More people are like, oh, you're that character, or I've seen you.
I get you. I get you. There
I
was.
think so.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say, I think we're gonna need to create like a list of like books that we're reading or that you should read.
Yes. Yes. We'll compile our must read, watch, must consume media list. There you go.
Okay,
I
sorry.
like that.
Go ahead.
That's okay. Um, and it's another thing I hear a lot is, well, so sorry. Let me backpedal a little bit.
Okay.
I hear the complaint of, well, if you have too much piracy, it will either close anime in America, or it will like close jobs and whatnot. And I've had a couple of run-ins in the past with voice actors stating,
Mhm.
I am not going to, and I understand it's the company line. You can't promote going against the company who's paying you for the job.
Mhm.
And my argument to that one sometimes is, no, this is true. I mean, if something's not my cup of tea, I'm not going to buy it, nor am I going to pirate it. Why am I going to waste my time? And
Mhm.
also in one occasion, and I'm not naming names, but in one occasion it was like, well, you see, I pirated it because I didn't want you to have that role. I think you're a terrible fit. I would much rather download a fan sub and buy the original Japanese media, so my money went to the creators.
Yeah, that I feel that especially with certain voice actors that I can acknowledge their talent,
Right.
but I can't in good conscience be like, "Oh, this," and without having to give like a disclosure on that. And I think those series, or especially like when it comes to that particular voice actor, I might be like, "Look, they're really good. I'm going to acknowledge they're really good. They did an amazing job on their work." But I'm going to say kind of geared you towards these sites as well. So you make your decisions.
Yeah, yeah. The For anybody who's out there who's worked in corporate, it's called value added retail or resale.
Mhm.
You have a product and then they upcharge you for adding something else to it. And sometimes, not always, because there are plenty of VAs that I love that I will go out and buy their work because I like them as a VA, even if the anime is pretty crap. Um, but some of them I'm like, yeah, no, you did not. Not only did you not add anything to this experience, you've subtracted. The other thing too, with companies going under, there used to be, and it's right, there used to be a ton of anime import companies,
Mhm.
but most of them either consolidated or, in the case of like AD Vision and what have you, um, overspent. I remember when they and Funny were buying rights for everything, even if it wasn't making money, because it's like if I own the rights, you can't have the rights. So if I can't make money, you can't have make money. And then they
Mhm.
were closing. I think they closed their studio in Austin. That was been a while ago. That was way back.
No.
Yeah, that was like what 8, 10 years ago.
I was That's what I was gonna be like. It's not a few years. It's closer to a decade.
Oof, oof, aging myself here. But
You did say that you were gonna age yourself.
I mean, yeah, it's true. But then you have one of my all-time favorite anime companies, bar none, is Anime Ego. They way back when, it's a tiny, tiny company, and they're still small. They
Mhm.
would buy the rights of one thing, like Lum, you know, Beautiful Dreamer, and they would put it out in one media, or maybe two at the time. It was like tape and laserdisc, and now they just do DVD or Blu-ray. And it's like, we're going to sell this for a limited time. We've subbed it in house, and here you go. It all came to us, and now we're going to package it and sell it to you. There is no middleman or anything added on top of that. And they've been at it for what, 25, 30 years now.
Mhm.
They Bubblegum Crisis, Gunsmith Cats, Riding Bean, all of their old properties, they've had successful Kickstarters on to show them to a new audience. My personal all-time, I will preach from the hilltops that everybody should watch Otaku no Video, even if it doesn't make sense to the new otakus, us old tacos here. It's the story of anime and how the fandom used to be. It might not be like that anymore, but you should know your roots. But anyway, yeah, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you're not going to be brought in. Like if you're not if you know what you're doing.
If you know where you came from.
Oh no no. In regards to business, like if you're a good business, you will stay afloat and you will bring products that people will want to buy.
Mhm.
If you do moves like overcharge for media or mess things up and be like, nope, we don't care, well, then I take issue. But yes, you should always buy the stuff you like. If there's something that you like, you should buy it. If you don't like it or you don't know about it, test the waters. Go check it out somewhere else. Stay safe, but check it out somewhere else. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do like it, buy it as soon as you can. Any
Buy it. Any what?
any other thoughts on that?
No, that's just basically it. It's just one of those like buy it if it's there, please, so that way it exists. Um, there, your wallet is going to be the biggest thing that is going to have a vote on what comes, what comes more. So buy the stuff that you like.
Right. I'll throw another kind of aside here too with when it comes to pirated things, and that's when it comes to games. So I've loved and I still love dating sims and the like. And there's a lot of new dating sims out there that are great, but there's a lot of old ones that they used to sell on CD-ROM, and for those younger people, these are those round discs that hold data that you put in your computer. I know it sounds really crazy, but
I thought you were about to say floppy disk, and I was about to be like, are we going to go to an old Sailor Moon reference here?
Yes, yes. She still doesn't know how to use a computer.
I love that they updated that.
Best Sailor Moon meme ever. But there are sites like I know JList or whatever. What's JList's not adult name?
Was that the one that you linked me?
No. There's JList and I think it's JAST, J-A-S-T. I could be wrong. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
JList has an online where you can download old dating sims that are hard to find. And they're like 10, 15 bucks, whatever. That's fine. But a lot of them still have the old copy protection that used to be on the disk. So if you put it in a modern computer, it would slow to a crawl or sometimes not even work.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are actually, going back to what you said, you were joking about, but I'm not joking, floppy images like the .img files. So
Oh my god.
you'd get 1/4 into the game and it's time to swap the floppy. Don't swap that floppy. No. And the game would crash and you'd lose all of your stuff because the code's so old. So in respect to that, I would buy the game because I was like, I really like this game. I want to support whoever, if they're still out there, I want to support them to do new stuff. And as
Mm-hmm.
soon as I would buy the game, I then go to a pirate site and download a cracked copy that I know is going to work.
I'm kind of a little bit opposite on that. So I play a fair amount of visual novels / dating games, and so for Ottoman games, which is more like girl romance or the girl is the focus, sometimes they don't exist in English. So
Right.
you have to buy an English. You have to download the English pack. Now, I will tell you, there are certain companies that the moment they drop a new game, I don't care what it's about. It's already on pre-order. Like, I'm actually really guilty about that because I have it. I think it's AKSYS.
Oh yes, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, they came out with this dark horror game. It's like Murder Mask, or I put that on pre-order. I have the deluxe Vita edition downstairs. I have not touched that thing yet. But I was like, I support this. I want them to keep making visual novels.
Right.
Go. Um, but there are certain games like Masa's Hears from Utapri or Uta no Prince Sama that the only English game that I've seen so far is Shining Light, which is the mobile one. But there are people out there who are like, oh, well, here are the other games that exist. So, like, if you wanted to hack your Vita or you hack your PSP, you have that
Right.
capability of doing so.
No, I get you. I get you. I totally understand that.
I mean, I think that's just going to be the kick for me to actually learn Japanese so I can buy these games. So that way I can still get more Ottoman games.
What's sad about that is I actually had that same mindset, but now I just have a bunch of binders full of like kanji and hiragana katakana that I hand wrote out, but I'm still terrible at reading Japanese. Melissa's so much better at Japanese than I, and she's used Duolingo for 2 years, and I had 4 years of college education in the subject. So Kawabe, if you're listening or watching us, I'm so sorry. Be quiet,
um,
you. I'm gonna mute your mic.
but yeah, so I've gotten some ROMs, some English patches, but I will say the moment those games came available, they have now been in my Steam library or they're in my Switch library
Right.
or even my Vita library. Yes.
Another reason why we're so good friends. I'm like, I love my Vita. The Vita was a great console.
Okay, side tangent. I'm really mad at PlayStation for essentially killing Vita. If y'all don't know, Vita was PlayStation's Gen 2 handheld.
Yes.
Yes. PSP version 1, 2, and 3 are all the same for me. And it was fantastic, but the memory cards are expensive. So now that it's a dead system, if you're trying to look for a memory card, for the lowest amount, you're probably looking at $20. It just makes me so mad.
So I don't
But the
know.
good,
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if you know this or not, and maybe I might be an unbirthday gift, but thanks to the miracle that is micro miniaturization and cheap hardware from China and other places in that area, they sell Vita memory card adapters, which you slide a micro SD in it.
I did not know that. I do know that the Switch was like, oh, the Vita is like this visual novel machine. People love the visual novels, and the Switch's library for like, oh, we're coming out with all these visual novels. It's like, ooh, bless.
But
But
anyway,
I
I'm
didn't know.
sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to step on you.
No, 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 you're good. That was like a side tangent of like, ah, PlayStation, why do you have to do this? I lost where we were in our
That's
train
okay.
of thought.
I think we finished up piracy and then we just kind of devolved into great communication, which is always a good thing, you know. Bonus content is bonus.
Bonus content is bonus.
I mean, we've been at this now a little. Aw, she's holding up a little Hello Kitty perler bead. For those just listening, it's super cute. I love Kitty White, and yes, I will use her real name.
Kitty White and Dan forever.
That's right. That's right. Big hearts. Aw.
Oh.
And yes, we've been at this about an hour and 10 minutes, so I think we should wrap up this episode. And I have a website to work on. So we have a website, which is Baka Live
Is it
and
.com?
BakaLive.com. That's right. That decided to kill itself this past evening with a WordPress update. So I'm in the process of fixing that. So by the time you hear this, it should be fixed. And if it's not fixed, by the time you see me in the next episode, you'll see the two black eyes that Steph has given me for not fixing the website yet. So with that, we will see you in the next episode.
Bye, guys. Thanks for
Bye.
stopping by.